96.5 KLH. How you doing? I'm Dave, along with Doreen, and it is our great pleasure to host today, Giving Tuesday, a holiday of miracles. And this next young woman that we're about to speak to, well, she's a miracle. There's no doubt about that. But unfortunately for her, Ellie's 2020 started in 2019. Did it not, Ellie? How are you, by the way?
I'm doing really good right now.
Okay, so explain what happened.
Good news.
In 2019, when you graduated from high school, you were just ready to graduate and you had your plans all made. What happened?
So I was getting ready to go to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I went in for a checkup with my doctor, just a regular checkup. But then, and we decided to get extra labs and stuff, but those came back kind of weird. And we didn't really know what was going on. But then we got a call from Dr. Margolis, and he was like, Ellie needs to come in right away. I need to see her. And me and Mom were like, what's going on? Like,
yeah. How scary was that?
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on.
We should talk to Mom right now. Kristyn's here with us as well. Kristyn, what was going through your mind when you hear this?
Well, they had called us and said that she was anemic and there was some blood work that they wanted to look at a little further. And then Monday morning, I got a call from Dr. Margolis and honestly didn't know what was going on. And he just said, I need to see her like this afternoon. So we got in there as fast as we could and all of a sudden got bombarded by, could be leukemia, could be, a lot of different things. And we're going to start testing and stuff. So our lives came to a screeching halt. And Ellie ended up not going to school in the fall. But because of Dr. Margolis and his determination to find out what was going on with Ellie, that we figured it out. And we went from there.
Dr. Margolis has joined us. And Doc, immediately you saw something. And when you need to make a call like that, no matter how many times you make that call, it's just as difficult now as it was the first time.
Yes, it's always heartbreaking. Hello, Dave. Hello, Doreen. Hello,
Hi.
Ellie. Hello, Kristyn.
Hi.
So, it is matter of fact, and it's also one of those. I don't like Groundhog Day. When we make a phone call like that, we want to get a patient in to see us as soon as possible because their minds are racing a mile a minute, if not more. And one of the things is the reality can be very challenging, but the unknown can be even more challenging. And so I communicated with their primary doctor and offered to bring them in as soon as possible so we could get the process going. And what I remember about Ellie is just the sadness of having to tell her that she wasn't going to go to Madison. Madison's one of my happy places. I spent 4 years there as a med student, and the sadness of having to tell somebody that we're going to make you better, and you're going to miss the next year of Madison was a little bittersweet. And there's worse news to give, but that was highly impactful for somebody who had just graduated high school. This is pre-coronavirus, and so everybody's having, think back to the good old days of being able to do lots of stuff and move into a dorm and all that kind of stuff. And
her whole life was ahead of her.
Yes, exactly. And it is, but quite the detour over the last year and a half.
Ellie, when Dr. Margolis explained it all to you, and I understand, and I know how bright you are, and I understand that you speak fluent German.
Yeah.
As well as so many other things that you're adept at. But when Dr. Margolis gives you news like that, as a young person, how is that? How do you accept that? What do you tell yourself to help you handle something like that?
Honestly, I didn't really know what to think at first. I was really shocked. I had to start a whole new plan, because everything that we were expecting to happen, like we already said, the dorming situation and everything had to be changed. But honestly, I had to do what I had to do, like,
Hmm.
Well,
um,
after your diagnosis, so what was the diagnosis?
Myelodysplastic syndrome.
Which was
So,
not leukemia, right? Which was good news, but you
right.
still needed to have bone marrow transplant.
Right. It's more of like a pre-cancer type thing.
Okay.
And it's just like the very beginning stages. There are like the same bad cells of leukemia, but not as many.
Doc,
But
how's she doing, by the way?
She's doing really well.
This
She's
is
doing,
you.
she's
This
doing
is
very
you.
well. She's doing
You've
very
given
well.
her all the tools on how to explain
Yeah.
this, and she's doing a very good
I
job.
think
Yeah,
she came with a lot of tools, to be very honest with you.
I think so too. Yeah.
Well, and she was adopted from China, and so that you didn't have any medical history, right? So that threw
How
another
does that
wrench
impact
into
it, Doc?
that.
What
Yeah.
happens with something like that?
It's a curveball. It is a curveball, and so with myelodysplastic syndrome, it is a pre-leukemic situation. It is something that does when you're 18, 20, 25, one recommends a bone marrow transplant sooner rather than later. And when we have somebody who's adopted from Asia, we currently in bone marrow transplant, we have the great ability, the Aaron Rodgers safety valve is using one of the parents. And so we can use a parent, but in this case we couldn't. And so we had to, our donor team had to look to the National Marrow Donor Program, which includes lots of places worldwide. And we were pleasantly surprised that we were able to find Ellie a donor as quickly as we did. And that's pure luck. I mean, we've got a great team, but we can't outsmart biology. And fortunately, somebody somewhere else had a very similar tissue typing to Ellie, which allowed us to move forward with her history, and we didn't have to worry about it so much.
Kristyn, as mom, what does Children's Hospital mean to you, and what would you say to moms and dads out there?
The support that Children's Hospital gives to parents and to the kids, and the dedication of the people that work there, from the people you meet as you walk in the door, to the housekeeping, to the nurses and the therapists. And there's so much there for the kids. They are in great hands. I had no doubt that Ellie was going to be taken care of, and they were going to do their best to find out what was going on and help cure her and make her life go on as it should be. But I just am so awed by the amount of compassion and dedication of the people at Children's Hospital. It's just surreal.
I read something that you wrote, and when you described Children's, the word that you used, which I think is so perfect, is genuine. And that is that the care and the empathy and the consideration and what they give of themselves is genuine. It can't be faked, something like that. And I think that's probably the number one thing people take away, is that, for example, with Doc Margolis, he represents all of the caregivers at Children's, and what they do because they not only love it, it's a calling, and they're the best at what they do because of the passion that they display.
Yeah, and not only just in the medical treatment, but I saw that, Ellie, you had to spend some holidays there, your birthday and Christmas, and not ideal place that you want to celebrate, but they made it the best they could for you, and that's genuine too.
Right. Yeah, they made it so much fun, even though we were stuck there. On my birthday, they would come around and bring gifts and wish me a happy birthday, and we all had a great time, and it was great.
what you guys are describing is what I would call the miracle of Children's Wisconsin. We can take somebody who's going through a life-threatening process, and we have the art therapists, the child life therapists, the social workers, the teachers, the nurses. A couple of the doctors are pretty good.
Just a couple.
We've got a whole team of people that are here to wrap their arms around kids and families like Ellie and make the process as tolerable as humanly possible when you're fighting a life-threatening situation. And there were some bad days. And there were some tears. And that whole team, thanks to the community, that's the miracle. We have a community that supports this institution unlike any other. Thanks to the community, we have all of those people who can wrap our arms around all of the Ellies of the world.
And Ellie, how are you feeling today, and how's school going?
Today I'm feeling really good. Like, I get out for walks a lot. Like, last year I would lose my breath so easily and I wouldn't have very much energy, but now I feel so great. Like, I keep moving, like, and school is going great. I finally think I decided what my major is gonna be, which is psychology.
Nice.
Very good.
So that's been really fun. That's been awesome.
Well,
Right,
I can already tell you that as long as you're covered in our medical plan, I'll probably be one of your first clients.
then Ellie, you speak fluent German. Can you say something in German for us?
Danke für alle die Leute, die arbeiten bei Children's Hospital.
All right, now you got to tell us what it meant.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It just means thanks to all the people who work at Children's Wisconsin.
Yep.
And especially Dave Margolis. I thought I heard that in there, but sometimes well, ladies, thank you so much for your time.
You said thanks to Dave, Doreen, and all the wonderful listeners.
There you go, because they're the ones who are going to give us money. So we need donations. And why do we need donations? Because this place does things that, first of all, it's hard to describe them. But secondly, they do things above and beyond to the point where there's no compensation. There's no insurance that covers some of the things that they take care of. Children's Wisconsin is a unique place for so many different reasons. But I think the number one thing is what Ellie's mom, Kristyn, said, is how genuine they are. Yeah. They care sincerely about you as patients, you as family members. And the best part about having them is that they're right here in our own backyard. So if there's a way you can see yourself clear to maybe donate some money, obviously go to our website, WKLH.com. You're listening to Giving Tuesday, a holiday of miracles on KLH.